Bro, why the fuck is it so fast? Damn, clip that shit. Okay. I wanna see an excellent down there. I wanna see an excellent. Is that not where it shows or something? Like, bro. Isn't it like supposed to show me shit? Motherfuckers. Why is the quality shit now? What do I listen to myself? Okay, I don't know. Let me just make sure. Is that the button? Yeah. Let me just make sure everything's off. That's set to that. That won't do shit. That's that. This is this. This is bada bing bada boom. Alright. Blank. You know, I really like that I did that. That's in the middle and shit. So like, when it's black, it doesn't mean that, you know, the streams isn't working. It just means that I show nothing. Okay. So. Can I use... Okay, there we go. Alright, so. Getting sticky with Python is what we're gonna be doing today. And Bragg said, hi! 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 Okay. Getting sticky with Python. Alright. So we were programming with the fucking micro, right? And shit. But as I said, nothing matters. So I'm just gonna open up VS Code because I don't give a fuck. Okay. Oh look, the code. It's, oh my god, it's all errors. Oh no. Okay. It's actually not all errors. So as you might have realized, actually hang on, if I do like Control S, oh yeah, it formats a bunch of shit. So, the reason why everything is red is because I have a thing installed called MyPy, and basically what that does is it type checks Python. So, you know, a function is missing a type annotation and so on. So, there's a couple of things that so for like this is fine, right? A checklist is just an empty list, but if I hover over it, like, I don't know what list it is. So it could be a list of anything, which isn't really that cool for working with code, in my opinion. There are times where these like loose programming languages are fine, right? But there are other times where you're trying to make sure that things work, where it's just like, bro, nah. So Because I'm using MyPy, actually, one thing that I gotta do in the terminal. Oh my god, that shows everything. Hang on. Can I? Let me just. Okay, I'll just do this. Okay, so, am I showing everything else? Oh, I have this new tab for like, if we need to Google up something. New York City, that's not where I am. Yeah, they didn't. There is like Hell, Michigan or something like that. No, they changed. Okay, well, it's 22 degrees in New York City, as it seems like, or whatever that is. So this works great. But one of the things that I use personally is something called UV. It will just make it easier for like the project to be better. So I'm just gonna do UV edit, and a bunch of shit gets added in. Now that's not everything, and for me to get all the stuff I need to add in, let me quickly open up a little save. Is that it? And this shit. And then do I want to do that? Nah, fuck off. Okay, so all I did was add this. And actually we gotta do something else. Alright, here's the question. Tim, what the fuck did you just do? Well, it's not only important that you write the code. Okay. Just to make it shut up. So not only the code that we write is important, but what's also important is, you know, the quote-unquote architecture as a whole that we use. So that is why we now have a proper thing. So we're gonna have like a README, which we're gonna type up and shit. Actually, one thing that I might want to do is change this to this, and this is just like some bullshit. Like, you should never really worry about it. This is just for me, so that I can sleep at night. And that I'm able to. What the fuck? Oh, we didn't add one. Okay. But why didn't it add it? That's a bit weird. That's a bit sassy. So we need the git ignore. Let me just get it from a different project. So which one am I gonna get it from? You know what? Let's just get it from here. So this is just a file for Git, the thing that we use to version stuff. To just say, hey, if you see any of these folders, just ignore them. I don't give a fuck about them at all. That's what this is. Anyway. we added some stuff and it's going like, bro, what have you done? This is all sucky. Actually, let's commit this version. So what did we all do? We deleted sticky and added all that shit. Dot git ignore PyProject dot Python version, the readme. We don't need the checklist. Main PyProject, and we don't need right. What do we do? Made it a UV project and no, that's basically all we did. And we push that into the repo. Cause that's how I be doing shit. And actually we can check it out, I think. Am I logged in? I'm not logged in, but that doesn't matter, does it? Can you, here it is. Made it a UV project. Nice. Okay, now we have to concern ourselves about the code. It's screaming at us going, nothing is fucking working. But actually if you read it, function is missing type annotation. So right now, we're basically defining actual main, which, you know, doesn't have any types on it. So we have to say, hey, this function doesn't actually return anything. So we gotta do this. And then you gotta put the thing in here. So what is checklist path? Checklist path is what we pass in, right? Args checklist, right? So where the fuck do we define checklist? Here, and we set it to a type path, which means if we go up here, we can say, hey, this is a path. And look at that. It doesn't care anymore. And most of the code is fine as it seems like, but this one isn't, because I gotta add in none. Okay, nice. And then this is going, oh, just put in this type anyway. Can just say the first things we know that are correct. I think we can just add type ignore. Yes, and then MyPy will say, all right, you know what you're doing, so off we go. The only thing that has a problem now is loading something. Expression has type any. Right, because, I mean, it can be any, that's the problem. And down here, what's this problem? Expression type contains any, has type list. What the fuck? What's item? Item is any. Checklist is a list. Just ignore linter. Easy. Okay. A checklist. So this is a list of what the fuck do we call it? Item. Right. Might have to rename that stuff. Are you happy now? No. Item. The fuck is vars, bro? Without arguments equivalent to locals. With arguments equivalent to object dict. What is this? Geeks for geeks, dicks for dicks, bro. Summarize? Sure. Oh, for fuck. Okay. Bye bye. Dict attribute of the given object methods in the local scope when arguments are passed. The method returns the dict attribute for a module, class, instance, or any other object of the same as a dict. If the object fails to match the attribute, it raises a type error exception. What? So it just returns. So it just. So what the fuck does it do? Does it just return? Okay, I don't know, bro. I don't. What the fuck? Why are we using this here? Because we're Jason dumping that shit. God, this entire thing needs a refactor, bro. Okay, you know what? Let's just do the refactor then, alright? Alright. If it's a path, why are we opening it up as a path? Maybe make a function that converts an item to a string. Nah, bro. Raw printf dogging is the future, bro. A popped. Okay, I get it. Jesus Christ, this is some piece of code, am I right? You know what's crazy? You know what I learned about Python? Although we specify \n, which means a new line, it doesn't actually print a new line. If we check in the checklist and we check the encoding type down here, it's the Windows encoding type. So it doesn't matter what the fuck you put in here. Python will still write the platform specific new lines. For it to actually write this, you have to go into the open, and here is a new line thing where you can say, I want the Linux new lines. And now it will actually print these new lines as new lines. What the fuck, Python? Okay. Let's just do a whole fucking refactor because I can't be bothered. Okay. So what the fuck does this even do? Checklist. Okay, so we have, I think we have a checklist. What is a checklist? It's not this thing, is it? Is it the save file? Probably is. Save file.json. Ah, okay. Add the marking of the items, add deleting of certain items. So I did that. Okay, what are the commands? You see, this is why it's good to just sort of kind of like leave your code for a bit and come back to it and be like, what the fuck did I write? What the fuck did I write? Maybe clean up some shit. Thank you. Maybe have different checklists for each JSON. Editing certain items. Editing. Oh, it's so that. Okay, I know what I mean. Did we add in like exit? Okay, main info exit. Great. Okay. Okay, so what the fuck do we want to do? Do I want to extract it into a library? That would make things a bit easier, I think. That would also allow it for it to be imported, which... So the problem right now is that everything is really much like coupled together, right? So in this single while loop, we have all of this. And is that right? Yes, it is. And that's a lot of code, and it does a lot of things, right? So here we print each of the things. So if we go back, here we print each of the things. That's what this code is for. And then here we have this loop, and then we evaluate it, and we pop things, and then based on that. What if the user didn't supply anything after mark or this did it? Right, and one of the ways that you can make this code like better, quote unquote, is by separating it. So we have this REPL part, which is the REPL, and then we have like this library underneath that does the fucking too loud music. Okay, that does the actual like stuff on the list and so on. So I'm thinking, should I? Nah. Not now. Okay. So checklist the list of items. And we initialize it to empty. That's at the beginning of the program, right? Then we gotta load that shit in. Now we can actually do this better because we know it's a path now. So we don't have to check if it exists and then doing this weird open, because you can do things a bit better. So I'm just gonna what do I want to do? Okay, so first of all, let's check if the checklist path exists, but then we can put a not in front of it. So if it not exists, we want to tell the user that. We gotta go, yo, what you passed in doesn't exist. The path provided, if I can type provided doesn't exist. And we gotta go f string, and we gotta go in here, and we gotta go checklist path, and then we can return out of it. So if it doesn't exist, we log it, then we return, which means that beyond this point, we know that the path exists, which means we only need this check. With open path, you can actually change this to the path. So we have checklist. Now we can do open on this bitch. We want to read from the file. And coding is gonna be UTF-8 because I don't want Windows specific shit to die. And then new line, we're just gonna put this in because I've basically done this the whole time. Now, this is where the shit comes in. The JSON library of Python sucks balls for MyPy. So what we can do, actually, I think we can add in like a search. Didn't I type in a search or something? Guys, type assertion. Type in cheat fuck. Useful built-in types. Guys, how do I assert shit? My guy. classes. I don't use classes. Do I look like a stinky oops programmer? But it's a data class, it's fine. Okay. Decorators, guys, I don't... Motherfuckers. So it told me to this until any type. I don't give a fuck about any type. Tuple types, callable types, union types, optional types. Motherfuckers, type alias. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ, Lord in heaven. Anyway. Named tuple. What the fuck is a named tuple? Guys. The type of class objects. What? Generators. I don't... Oh, guys. Annotation issues at one time. What? Okay. How do you... Motherfucker. Dynamically typed code, type narrowing. Is instance callable. Casts. Guys, I don't... What? Where is the... Is... Okay. Good. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know. So, we can assert that the deserialized thing, well, what's it supposed to be? A list of dict from string to any. A list of dict string any. We don't have any info. From typing. There's types and typing. Or orny. What did I smoke? Okay. Cannot. Did I add in disallow explicit any? Now, these two rules, I like them because they're like strict, but so fucking annoying. Parameterized generics cannot be used with class or instance checks. What the fuck are you talking about? Why not? What the fuck? Oh. This is one of the problems with using JSON. It just sort of kind of like shoots itself in the fucking foot. Actually, I think this is how you run it. What is it? So it's the exact same errors that I was seeing. Use ignore. What? And what about if I bring back these two? It's just that one error. Never mind. Expression contain any hash type list dict string and look, that's what I was That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Huh? What if it... Okay. So it's fine with this now. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna actually like just... I do want to be explicitly any. Okay, now it's complaining about all this. But it isn't though, huh? I don't know, bro. How do I... Common is... Ah, here we go. Forbnike. Ignoring a whole file. Ignoring with code at runtime. What the fuck? My Pyron slop. Types of empty collections. What am I reading? Also, you can use an assert statement again with some of the supported type inference techniques. Should we use AI? You know what? Have we used the fuck AI? No? Okay. What's the error message? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? I am using... Oh, that's an error from my drive. Fuck. Okay. Can we just say, hey, assert that this is a list? It can. Okay, expression as type any. I don't give a fuck. I can legit just say type ignore. Okay. We fought the stuff and now we don't give a fuck. And here we can assert again. Assert is instance thing, which should be a dict. So I can just do this. And it's gonna be fine. And let's see if it works. What do I call it? Save file? Yeah, okay. It deserialized. Well, that's quite nice. we can throw all this into a thing. Actually, yeah. Because this code doesn't care about the path, we can move it down here. And then we can just take all of this and call it deserialize. Actually, maybe we could just call it load. Let's just call it load save file for now, because yeah. Okay, and this is where all this code can go. Which takes in the path, which is a path, and then it returns a list of items. Ta-da! Absolute coding. Okay, we don't need any, so let's just remove it for now. And actually, let me put back this just so it's fine. So we get the main logger. If the file doesn't exist, we go piss off. So that means actually, if I run this and I go bruh.json, the path provided bruh.json doesn't exist. Actually, I don't really like that it shows it fucking timestamp. I think it should be error, the thing, and then the message. So we can change that down here. So it's not that. We need level name first. And we do this. Now we do this. So if I run it now again. Error main, the path provided bruh.json doesn't exist. Nice. So we get the checklist by, actually now we can remove this part because if I can type correctly, this thing knows it's a list of item, which means this is a list of item. So here we come to the fucking REPL, and this is where shit always gets fucking crazy. This is where shit always goes crazy. You know, we might actually do what this says. Yes. Actually, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna define a function item to string, which will accept an item, and if I can type correctly, I will return a string. And then That's what we're gonna do here. What do I call the variable, bro? Actually, I'll just put it in here, fuck it. So we have the index, and then we put the little thingy-bob, and then we go... Fuck! Can my hands... Okay. Item to string with the item that we passed in. Good. Then we can do this. I just return that boy, and it's gonna say, I don't know what mark is. Okay. Motherfucker. Cool, that's done. Right, actually I kinda wanna like pad this number so that if we have like 10 things in here, it's gonna look good. So that, bro, I like how the clanker didn't help us. So just Python, what was it? String formatting. What the fuck? Hang on. Was the decline option in the corner? Did I just press it on accident? That is evil, bro. What the fuck? String formatting. Right. I just want to know how the fuck do I align a number, my guy? It's something like this. Sales data. Ah yes, guys. I will be programming a sales thing next, bro. Then you guys can see how fucking poor I am. I don't want F strings. What the fuck off, cheat. The fuck is this? Tabs from other devices, history, bookmarks. I don't need you guys. What the fuck? F string. Dix for dix in Python. Damn, I'm gone. Okay. Ionos. Guys. Let's go, Digi. Python F-String sind ein Python-String-Format, das mit Python 3.6 eingeführt wurde. 3.6, Digga? Crazy. Oh, look, some ads. Die beste Webhosting zum Spitzenpreis. Okay, anyway. Bro, I just... Real Python. Show me the real Python. I don't want no fake Python. Take a quiz, guys. The internet is annoying me. Guys, all I want... How do I shove the text to the side? I don't want a centered... We're almost there. I don't want a centered string. I just want to move it. I don't give a fuck about separators right now. Mamma mia. You can do R for string for rippers? But where? Oh, inside the thing. I didn't know that. That's quite cool, actually. Okay. Quotation mark. Bro, you know what I genuinely hate? If I ever make a language, right? God forbid if I ever make a fucking language. I will disallow these single quotes. No, guys, okay, the only thing we're gonna have is double quotes. You fuck off with all this okay? Just, we're gonna have a single string type. There you go. And if you want a character, then we'll just, like, compile time make it so that if you have a string of length 1, then it's a character. It's done. What the fuck am I looking at? Guys! I want string interpolation. I want Jesus Christ. Am I stupid in googling or something? Like, I don't. Data camp, sure, whatever. I accept nothing. Do I have to look up like padding? Padding. How do I fill out spaces? What the fuck am I looking at? No. Used. Thank. Okay. You should probably use the string format. What is all this? You know, at some. Does it have the same shit in here? Does it tell me? Okay, so if I want it, so I need to. Now what's this number? What if I put 2 in here? Ah. That's not what I want. Do I need to put it the other way? Ah, okay. Oh. That's the problem with Python. Python is great. Right, you can do many things in Python. And I use it in my home lab to, like, you know, write small little tools and scripts that do things and so on. But sometimes it's like somebody needs to rewrite Python standard library to be fucking useful. because like, I don't know. I don't think cheat sheets can save this. So okay, info. You know what? Let's make a debug. Did we add in the log level? We did. Okay, so that just doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so we strip here. Do I want to strip here? Because here I do split. So, but does splitting do? Damn, hold on. Watch this. What do you mean? Watch this. Watch streak was currently on a 5 stream streak. What the fuck does that mean? Is currently on a 5 stream. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What the guys? I want. Oh, okay. We were here already. Means that before your hiatus, I watched your streams, and now I watched your most recent ones. So you've been always watching my streams. Is that what that means? God, I'm like an old man, I guess. Okay. I don't know. If SEP is not specified or known, a different splitting algorithm is applied. Runs of consecutive whitespace are regarded as a single operator. Ugh. Okay. So this is a built-in strip. Okay. Python. This has a built-in strip. Can I like get? How can I? How do websites work? Can I get like a link to this specific section? Take a screenshot, translate, ask AI. That's a guys. AI chatbot is a fucking hotkey. View selection source. Block. Yeah, let me block. Print. Ah yes. Let me just quickly print this section. Paste it to my fucking wall. Copy link to highlight. Why can't I do that? Copy clean link to highlight, guys. Wait, but why didn't it work for the whole line? Can I do this? Copy link to highlight. And then if I paste it. Okay. I can put that in my code. Yes, thank you very much. I just want to be documenting. Why? Why is it like this? Okay, now that that's fixed. So we strip off all of the white space. Okay. And then if it's exit, we just exit out of the loop. Okay, that's cool and all. Then we pop the first thing off in the list. Maybe we should call it differently. Oh no, the names got longer. But what am I gonna do? Pop. Do I want to call it popped? Yes, I do want to call it popped. Right. So with pop this and we do this. A checklist dependent new item. And then the rest. Okay, I'm just gonna wrap this in debug, and debug. What if a user didn't supply anything after the mark and or if it isn't an int? Okay, that's what that means. Okay, so look, it's duplicated code. Ain't that fun? So we need some way of just. Right, so that's the splitted string, and we're popping the top off again. Raises index error. Oh, for fuck's sake, the thing that I hate about stupid Python is that it raises errors everywhere. Like, look, okay, strip returns. What? That's not what it is. Okay, so it just always does something or nothing. And then like pop raises a whole fuck error. So if I want to see if this worked, so what I have to do is take these two lines, wrap them in a try, and then I want to catch. Is it catch? It's not catch, is it? It's not raise. What is it? What the fuck does Python use? Catch? No. Raise. Except, bro, it's so stupid. But then I don't want to raise a specific. I don't want to raise everything. I want to raise a specific. Okay. What was it? Index error. Index error. Does it have like some information or something? Can't you capture it in a value? Raise an exception. Okay, but can't I capture it or something? Oh yes, Python documentation. Alright, let me bring me Bombo. We've been streaming for an hour. An hour already, and I didn't do that much actually. So this might be a multi-day refactor. I'm probably gonna next stream in 2 days. I think the next stream is gonna be. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be my off day, and then I'm gonna stream again. So the seventh. Oh no. The 7th is when I'll know if I have to go to work or if I'll still be at home. I'm betting on me still having like, I don't know, like a week or two. But that's like about it, right? So like February 100% I gotta go back, but like my fate is sealed, guys. As error, okay. Can I use the funky shit that I learned? Damn. Okay, so if they if they try, if the list is empty or index error, well, what is it actually? So if I go and run it, and I go, what was it? Mark. And I want to mark nothing. Oh. Pop from empty list. Okay, and what if I try to do like 4? No. 10. What if it's out of range? Index. Okay, so it just does that stupid shit. Why? Why does it print it like that? So if it's both empty or it's not in the range, it. What if it's like high? Oh, thank fuck, it crashes. And it crashed in here, so there's another error in here. What? Did I clear it? I did. Let's run it again. What was the fucking value error? So not only, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so let me accept. Pop from empty list. List and out of range. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, so these are the cases that we have to care about. So that doesn't mean anything, and that doesn't mean anything because it's just fucking strings. Okay, cool. What do we want to do? Okay, so we're doing this right now. So the index error means popping failed. It probably also means this failed. I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna move this down. And if it crashes, then we'll see. So what do I want to do if somebody pops a value that doesn't exist or is out of range? I guess we're using loggers for some reason. So let me say, should be error, shouldn't it? What can we say when somebody like it doesn't? When pop failed. Either it's nothing or out of bounds. Okay. Let me walk around my room a bit. And I think a bit. You know. I don't know why I'm sitting so long on this. I guess I want it to be right, but it's like it's a bit difficult for me to come up with like correct error messages. So I don't quite know. God damn it. I can't come up with shit. You didn't supply anything, or it's out of bounds. Okay. So on this one, it is when int failed and the. By the way, can I just force base to be 10, because I don't trust that shit. Supports index. What the fuck are you talking about? Int failed and the string isn't a number. You know, it does this shit. But like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Just use f strings if I've had. So, what you typed in isn't a number. Okay. Mark. You didn't supply anything. So we have these other messages. We're gonna clean that up later. It marked 4. Why? I guess, you know what we have to do here? Just go continue, I think. That's a bit sassy. Okay. Let me go in the code. You didn't supply anything, or it's out of bounds. It's an index error. Oh. So, okay. Motherfucker, remember when we had this line up here with the try? This boy was also throwing an error. If so you didn't supply anything, right? And then we have to do the same shit around here. So we gotta try this. Except I'm so going to rewrite this. Oh. Okay, and the other thing was, it wasn't int. Okay. What a fuck. And the fucking problem is, it's the exact same thing here. We even have the exact same piece of code up here. Look at this. It highlights it even for me. So that means we can copy this entire thing into here. And then it's all fucked up. And then we can copy this code into here. But we gotta change this from is true to del. And now we're gonna change the indentation. Okay. Oh, duplicated code, my beloved. Make it work. Am I right, guys? Make it work. Okay. So, right, so that should be debug, and actually we can change the thing to be like this, so if we ever add more stuff into the future, we can. Then here we have the checklist, which should also be a debug. Okay, save the text file. Now, we specifically have a name here, which is why we have to do open. And we can't do what we did up here and say checklist path.open, because it's a path, but here we only have a string. The problem is, here's the funny thing of Python. This checklist is going to be generated relative to where you executed. So what I can do is I can like go up a layer, which will go into my program extreme folder, and then if I execute the main script, it will create the checklist in here. Although it, in my opinion, it shouldn't. So that's fine. Let me do the new line thing here as well. If I can type that as F. Look at this, for item and check item. Look, this is exactly the item to string. Which means we don't need this. Which means we don't need this. Which means we just need to replace this. Which means that these boys go around it. Boom. A written file that should be debug. Okay. With open checklist path. Right, so because it's a path, we can flip it around again. Dot open encoding W, and then the new line is this. New list append vars item. Right, what are we actually doing here? So we read the file in, and then in the loop we are writing the file back, right? This is writing the save file. So we have checklist.txt, which is what I show up on stream. And then we have checklist path, which is the save file. So let me just rename every single one of these to it should actually be this. I just realized. Save file path, and then I do the same. Load save file path. Ain't that fucking cool? Load. No, the name's too long. Shut the fuck up. Look, now it makes sense. With the save file open, so here we are writing this save file JSON back. Because we maybe changed it. Probably changed it. Or changing it, whatever. Right, so we construct a new list, which is Python serializable. Right, so what I think I'm gonna do, instead of relying on this vars thing, I am going to add a def item to dict. Now, an item is this. So this is a dictionary with the keys being strings and the values being strings or true. So I can't technically encode it. I can do this. That's good. Missing return statement, but we can implement it in a second. So instead of relying on this, we can go item to dict and pass the item in. Absolute cinema. We had errors, we removed the function, and we made it ourselves, and it works now better. That is cool. What do you mean, Brax? What were you talking about with that is cool? Actually, I can specify that this list is of... What is it? It's of what item to dict is, which is a dictive string, okay. So string or a bool. What's funny is that we're using it in multiple places, like here, right? And if we ever change what we put in here, right now it's a string or boolean. If we ever change it, we also have to change it in here. So that means we can have item, and we can say like item dict, and we can just say that it's this, and then we can return item dict, which means we can pop down here and say that it's a list, not of this, but it's a list of item dicts. So it's the item, but in a dictionary form, instead of it being a class. Right, so all we have to do here is translate it. Guess what we can do? So we know it's going to have a title, which is going to be item dot title. And then we're going to have a done. It's going to be item dot done. That's about it, I think. Yep, there we go. Right, so the main problem of this is that anytime this changes, this also has to change, this has to change, this has to change. So it's a bit everywhere, but for now it seems to work. Right, I think new list is a wrong name. So for each item in the checklist that we have right now, what should we call this list? Just calling it new list is stupid. List item dict. I mean, it's relative to the save file. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, and look. No errors. No error. Everything is fine. There is no typing error. We refactored it and made my Pi happy. And actually, we can take this and just put it into a function. I was about to call it save file. You know what? Why not? Save. If I can type save file. I don't know what it takes, but I know it returns nothing, so we'll see what it does in a second if I copy the code. So it's you fucker. And then we gotta go save file. And it needs the checklist, right? As far as I know. We can see it once I paste it in. Not only it needs the save file path. Sure, bro. I will checklist, which is a list of item. Ta-da! Okay, we go in here and it goes, man, I don't know what this is. Right, so this is saving the, you know what, we can add the log debug in here as well. And it goes, man, I don't know what logger is, but basically I have to take this and put it here and name it differently. Let me put some space around it because the code, because this is like the prelude and this is the epilogue of the function, right? So I have like a bunch of stuff and then you have the actual story of the function, right? So here's like, it's like a story. You have the prelude and then you have the fucking story of the function and then you have the epilogue. Okay. Right, so we can take all of this and put it in the function as well. Welcome to refactoring. It needs a logger. Okay, do I want the file name to be passed in or no? And also needs a checklist, alright. Do I want the file name to be passed in or do I want it to be encoded in here? I don't actually know. You know, I think for now I'm just gonna keep it in here. Let me check it out. Okay, so I know that there's gonna need a checklist, so let me just pass that in. Look at that. Save the checklist, save the save file. Boom. What does it do? I don't know, but it does its job, alright? Welcome to the reasonable, what was it called? It's something like the unreasonable usefulness or something. Hang on, I think I had it somewhere. It's like the unreasonable effectiveness. Yeah, something like that. The unreasonable effectiveness of Fortnite or whatever. It's not what I mean, is it? The unreasonable effectiveness of like the unreasonable effectiveness of functions, basically. Layers of abstraction, as they're also called. Okay. You know, yeah, I'll just keep it like this. Okay, is there anything else that we can do? I mean, if you look at it now, can I somehow highlight all of this? So it starts here and it ends here. All of this is the actual code, right? The problem is that this here is this is setting up all of this stuff. For instance, like, you know, argument passing, so that we can have a log level, and then we can have like a checklist path thing. And then here is like the logging, and then we calling the actual main. And then here we have all of our logic and shit. I've been streaming for 1.5 hours already. Damn. Okay. So one thing that I haven't done is taking this whole ass while loop and putting it into a separate function, because it doesn't really work that well. As you can see, we have a lot of continues here, which these continues reference this while loop up here. So it's a bit difficult to organize everything, because I can't, like, you know, pull this out into a function, because these continues need this thing. So then you have to work with return values and stuff, and that's a bit, I wouldn't say it's difficult for me, but it requires like wrapping my head around how I want to architecture all this. So I'd rather not really do it. Yeah, so like there's a lot of things in here. I could technically bump this out of here and put it somewhere else into a function. Is that how Python works? Is that how Python works? That's the thing that I always go like, is that how Python works? Like if I, you know, we can actually test it. Fuck it, like, bruh. If I have a list, and then I have a function, which takes in the list and returns nothing. But then it modifies the list. When I print the list and then I do stuff on the list, and then I print the list again, will it change? It will. That is the thing that I like. Okay. All right. Okay. So that means we can actually factor this out into a function. I'm just gonna call add command because I don't know what the fuck else to call it. We need to prelude and stuff like that, or whatever the fuck it's called. And we need to split the string. Okay. You know what? I kind of want to make checklist the first argument. And then we can make splitted string with the other one. What is it? Hang on. So it's like a list or something. Is it this? I hope it is. What is it? Oh, it's a. Oh, it is a list of string. Okay, I guessed correctly. Right. So we cannot do mark and we cannot do delete because it requires this continue stuff. But the add command doesn't require anything. So we can keep it here. Okay. The beauty about putting this in different functions is that I can have a logger for each function, which means that these logging things are going to have the add command thing. So if I now go in and I add, how the fuck did that work? How you supply all that shit? What is this, yo? Then debug main, whatever this is, and then here with the add command. And then the rest that we got this rest, which is a joint, which technically should be here actually. Is here, and it has the add command in here. Right, now we go debug and this, and then like, what is this, yo? And if I go like delete 5, it's gone. Oh, it's this. You know what? I'm gonna put this here so that I know. Can you release this as a VOD? Sure. You know, I didn't record it this time, so I have to download it from. I didn't record all the other ones. I forgot that I can record them here. Okay. I don't know when I'll release it. Probably tomorrow in my like off time and so on. Yeah. So like it won't be today, but I will release this as a VOD. Right. That reduced the code a bit, didn't it? That like, can you remember at the beginning of the stream, I was like, this function was like too massive. Actually, we can check it out, couldn't we? Because I haven't pushed it yet. Yeah, so here it begins, line 14, and it goes down to fucking basically 90, which means, what is it? Let's just say it's 10. So 10 to 90, that's like what, 80 lines, and then in here we have now 75, let's say 70 to 150. Still the same. So adding all of this mark and delete stuff added as many lines. Actually, see, I copy pasted code and it still has mark everywhere in here. This should all be delete. Oh, I can't wait to put it in its own function and then the rest of that can just fuck off. It's also a bit of a problem, right? It's very much duplicated code, right? Like, especially this upper bit here. Like, if I just highlight this part, come on, bro. Right, you see how it's the same up here, and then I have like this line, come on, which is the same as that line, and then like this line, same as that line. So it's all almost the same. And the main reason all of this exists is because it's the pop and the int. So maybe we can factor this piece of code out into a separate function that just does the popping and then the converting to an int by itself. And the only thing that we get out of it is an index. We can do that. Why not? And actually, sure. Let's sure. Fuck it. Let's do it right now. What should we call it? I don't know. I don't know where we'll take it, but I will know. It will return a valid index or nothing. So it will return an int or none. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to take this piece of code and do that. So I'm just going to say that the index is going to be whatever the function is going to be. And if what we get back is none, if the index is none, then I want to continue. Right, but if it's not none, then this will go through, and here we have a valid index. Actually, I want to compress. I want to have to keep them together because they're like one thing. Okay, so and in this bruh, we're just gonna have this. So we want to return this value. We need to split its string, okay, which is a list of string, and then we need a logger. Okay, so that's happy. Now, if So this return wouldn't happen because either pop or int would throw an exception and we would be down here. Which means if we get down here, instead of just doing continue, which doesn't mean anything, we're in a function, there is no loop in here that we can continue into. We can just return none. If we ever get here, just return none. And then technically we need one down here as well. But it's like, bro, this is not reachable because you return here, here, or here, and there is no way to get down here. Which is why we don't gotta do it. Right, now it's screaming at me that bruh doesn't do anything. Statement is unreachable. Why? I don't get it. Okay, well, we need to put the splitter string in here as well. We use index already? Is it because we use it up here? Ah! Ah! So, okay, this continue is unreachable because instead of us saying, hey, this is a new variable index, we're saying, hey, this variable up here called index, how about we overwrite it? And this index here is an int. It's always, it can never be none. So us saying, yo bro, this is index or none, it goes, bro, what are you talking about? It already has a type int. You can't just say like, oh, it's or none. Like, bro, it will always be int. And that's just because we have the motherfucker up here, so we can't call it index. Oh no, we removed it. I changed all of these. It changed all of these. Ah. This is the point where like doing the rename. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. There we go. About this. Okay. So you're happy now? Right. It's still complaining because we have index over here. But this code was the same as what we extracted here. And now it doesn't complain anymore. And now it doesn't complain anymore. The only thing we gotta do in here is remove this delete stuff. And now I just don't gotta think about it, right? So we have the split string and then we like get the index. I guess we can call the function get index from command argument. Yeah, argument is mini. Did I not write that correctly? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Get index from command argument, and we pass the splitted string in there, and then we get an index. If it's none, just fuck off and continue. Who gives a shit? And then we have a valid index in here. Okay, and the difference between, so these pieces of code are also almost the same. Actually, I can put an enter in here, maybe it gets a bit more readable. So this piece of code and this piece of code is almost the same. The only thing that changes is what we do in here. And that makes it a bit more difficult to refactor, basically. But one thing that we could do is just check if this index exists in the checklist in the first place. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let me just do it real quick. So what we can do the same thing that we did up here, actually. If not something, then we log it and we just fuck off. And if it's true, then it just falls through and we do the stuff underneath. So, in here, we can just check if... So this is a list, right? Yeah. How do you check for index in the list again? Python check index in list. Hello. What in the fuck is this? In the... What? Easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. This common Python coding style assumes the existence of valid keys or attributes and catches exceptions, some of them proves false. This clean and fast style is characterized in the presence of try-except statements. This technique with... So we got efap and we got lebubu. What? What is this? Look before you leap. This coding style explicitly tests for preconditions before making calls or lookup. This style contributes with the efap approach and is characterized by presence of many if statements. That's what I want. I want my libido. What the fuck is this? We got efap and we got like what? Bible. Libido. What, bro? I don't know. For dict you can use... Guys! efap. What was it? I didn't read it. I just... EAFAP, bro. What the fuck? Easier to ask forgiveness permit. Okay, bro. I don't. What the fuck are they cooking? Guys, I don't want to use. If the index is less than the length of the list. Is that how you do it in other languages? Magic method. If index and range list, bro, what is this? Is there not like single? How the fuck do other programming? It returns -1. It's a vector in that language, in that fuck language. Get index of element. Otherwise, it's none, right? So like, okay, you know what? If the index is less than the length of the checklist. So in that case, if we reach that thing, well, there's nothing that we can do, and we can do like down here, and we can just continue. If this is not the case, if this is not the case, so if the index is less than the length, then we are sure we can just use it. We can remove this entire try catch fuck. Look at this. This is programming. This is programming. Absolute cinema. Look at how tiny this is now. Remember what we started with, bro? Some bullshit where is like delete. I mean, it was short, but it sucked. But now look, we are checking things exactly. It's a better function now. It is a better function now. And we can do the same thing up here. And then we can just remove this boy. Bada bing, bada boom. Bro, I absolutely hate this piece of shit, and I'm actually absolutely gonna refactor it. But apart from that, this is the entire function. Here we do the commands. Actually, I can call it popped. Because, I mean, to be honest, the first thing will always be the command. So it's just, you know, the command. I don't know what to do with splitted string. I'm a bit on the fence because we pass it everywhere. Which makes sense because we split the string and then we have like a list of all of the like tokens. So is it, what command is it, what arguments follow it. So when you are doing anything with them, you do need to pass them on. That's just the way things work. So maybe it's fine actually. Maybe it's fine. And then this is just the command that we split it. Right, okay, well. There we go. Absolute cinema. And I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. Okay. What did we do? We did all this. That was on my Windows, by the way. I just did that from time to time. Does it still work? We got stuff. We deleted it. The index is out of bounds. Unknown command delta. You didn't supply anything, or okay. What did we do? We didn't. You didn't supply anything. Okay. Look at that. The only thing that I would wish, if I do like this, that the arrow would be highlighted. And also need to rename this. That the arrow would be red or something. I'm gonna look into how to do that because I haven't done it for my things. I don't know if you can actually do it at all. Or maybe we would have to change it. I'll look into it. Because that's like that's one thing that I also need for my personal project. So that is quite a cool little thing. We perfected the program. I wouldn't say it's better. It's finer. Yeah. So next time it depends on what we're gonna do. We're probably gonna make it so that these things live somewhere else, so that they don't just sit here untracked. Because like this checklist shouldn't be checked in. Maybe it should live in a folder that's not checked in, that's in the git ignore. And the save file is probably also gonna live in another folder. Next stream is gonna be sticky too. I don't know actually. I don't know. Next stream is gonna be on the 7th anyway, so it'll be a surprise stream. There we go. We did it. It's in here. It's in here. We're probably gonna do the readme and stuff because like we need to. The only way somebody can figure out what commands there are right now is by just checking in the source code and like not missing these things. So that's a bit. Yeah, we're probably gonna work on documentation in the program and outside of program, as in the README. But yeah, that was about it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna upload the VODs tomorrow. Yeah. That's about it. Goodbye then. Bye bye, and see you on the 7th. Let's see what I'm gonna stream. Depends on what I feel like. I kind of want to get Sticky working before I do anything in Minecraft again. So we're probably gonna do Sticky. Yeah. Add this to the to-do list. I can do a flip right now. There you go. I flipped it. Anyway. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I'll see you on the 7th. Where I will tell if I'm fucked or if I'm okay or whatever the fuck. And yeah. Anyway. Very much enjoyed the yapping. Thank you. I'm gonna join the Discord call anyway in a second. Like, okay, anyway. Bye bye, and see you next week on the 7th.